This is the story of Nami, the Tidecaller. Far beneath the crashing tides, in the hidden reaches of the ocean where sunlight fades into myth, lived Nami, the Tidecaller of the Mirai. Among her people, the Mirai guarded an ancient pact. Long ago, they had saved a traveler from the surface world, a being touched by celestial power. In return, the surface dwellers promised to send a chosen one bearing a magical moonstone, an artifact needed to keep the balance between the sea and the sky. For generations, the Mirai waited. But the chosen one never came. And so the ocean began to change. The waters grew restless creatures once gentle became violent. The currents whispered of imbalance, of something broken far above in the realm of mortals. While the elders hesitated, bound by tradition and fear of the unknown surface, Nami refused to watch her world unravel. With courage stronger than the deepest current, she took up the sacred staff and set out on a journey no Mirai had dared before. She would go to the surface herself. The journey was perilous. Nami braved dark trenches, battled monstrous sea creatures, and followed faint traces of magic that led her ever upward. When she finally broke through the surface, the world she found was vast and unfamiliar, full of land, sky, and beings who walked instead of swam. Yet her mission remained clear: find the moonstone. Her search led her toward the towering peak of Mount Targon, where celestial power touched the mortal world. Along the way, she encountered humans, some kind, others fearful of the strange creature from the sea. Still, Nami pressed on, guided by determination and the fading magic she could still feel in the air. Eventually, she found the truth. The chosen one had never come because something had gone terribly wrong. The balance between realms had already begun to collapse, refusing to turn back. Nami made a decision that would change her fate. She would take the responsibility upon herself. Through wit, bravery, and a bit of trickery, she acquired the moonstone, not as it was promised, but enough to restore what was breaking. When she returned to the depths, the seas calmed, the creatures settled, and balance was restored. For now. But Nami was no longer just a tidecaller. She had seen the surface. She had felt the fragility of the world beyond the ocean. And she knew this was only the beginning. Now, whenever the tides stir strangely, or the balance of magic begins to shift, Nami rises again, not just as a protector of the Mirai, but as a guardian between worlds. Because sometimes the hero who was promised never comes, and someone else must rise in their place.